Is Jasprit Bumrah available? Is he injured? Is he not available? If one has to write a mystery novel around Jasprit Bumrah and his availability and injury, it would be a bestseller. Because at this point in time, Jasprit Bumrah's injury management is now bordering on the overcautious approach by the BCCI. Looking at what has happened in the past 1 week, the BCCI have burnt their hands very badly when it tries to manage Jasprit Bumrah's injury. This latest setback that Jasprit Bumrah has had is not a good sign for many people, because you want your ace pacer to be match fit, gain rhythm, but at the same time you want to restrict his injuries. How do you do that? There are a lot of methods that have been employed, but in the case of Jasprit Bumrah, nothing seems to be working, because last year he played only 10% of the T20Is that India had played before the T20 World Cup. Yet he got injured, and yet he did not play in the T20 World Cup. So now there are reports that Jasprit Bumrah might miss the entire Border Gavaskar Trophy of 4 tests against Australia, and the reasons are many. So why is Jasprit Bumrah in doubt for the Australia tests? Because he needs 1 more month of rehab, as reported by many outlets that he has suffered stiffness in his right glute. Now that is not a good sign when you look at Jasprit Bumrah, because already you had a problem when it came to his lower back. Now that same lower back is being stiff. Rohit Sharma said, see, it's stiffness. It's got nothing is to be worried about. But the same area, what happened in 2019, what happened in the 2020 season, now it's a repetition of that in 2022. Because remember, Jasprit Bumrah has not played any kind of cricket ever since September. Now you will all be wondering, what has Jasprit Bumrah been doing over these course of 4 months that has happened? What was he doing? Well, firstly, he was undergoing a math simulation test at the NCA. In addition, he was also regaining fitness. He was also undergoing math simulation tests in the NCA. I will come to what is that later. But on the second day of this math simulation experience, he experienced discomfort. And so, because of this discomfort, he did not travel with the Indian team to Guwahati for the ODI. Bumrah was announced as one of the members in the Indian team for the ODI series against Sri Lanka, but he did not travel. Now, why is this math simulation test being done in the NCA? Primarily, it is done to ensure that workload management, the higher workload is built up through these kind of tests. Simple. But now, what was Bumrah's rehab after he got injured and was ruled out of the T20 World Cup? Remember, earlier it was stress fracture, now it was a stress reaction, but then he was ruled out of the T20 World Cup altogether. What happened after that? After missing the T20 World Cup, Jasprit Bumrah was undergoing rehabilitation at the NCA for 6 weeks. After that, he resumed training and fitness on November 25. And then he started his bowling exercises, basic to now workload, from December 16th onwards. Now, as I had mentioned, the math simulation test and the fitness which was done, it was done to use building higher workloads. But now what has happened? Because of that, he did not travel with the team to Guwahati after he complained of stiffness. Now, what next for Jasprit Bumrah? Because now there are reports that he could be needing 3 more weeks of rest. And 3 more weeks means it's January 10th. February 3, he needs just rest. After that, he has to come back into bowling yet again. So that means 2 or 3 tests he's definitely missing in the Border Gavaskar Trophy unless he has a quick recovery. Math simulation and bowling tests revealed the extent of the rehab that he needed to do. And quick recovery could see him play 1 or 2 tests against Australia. So unless and until he makes a quick recovery, Jasprit Bumrah is all set to be ruled out for the entire India versus Australia series. But why is Bumrah getting injured often? Well, Shoaib Akhtar pointed out once that this frontal action of his, and because he places pressure on his back and shoulder, it is that main reason why he's getting injured so quickly. Michael Holding also once said that the amount of stress that Bumrah puts on his back and shoulder makes him a long time injury candidate. It's happening now. Shoaib Akhtar was more side on. That is why he could control his injuries to a certain extent, but not with Bumrah. He's more front on. He doesn't have much of a run up. That is the main reason why he gets injured a lot more. So, after being included in the squad for the Sri Lanka ODIs, Jasprit Bumrah is now in danger of not even playing the Border Gavaskar Trophy also. Is this the fault of the NCA? Is this the fault of the team management? Is it Bumrah's own fault? We don't know. Injuries are part and parcel of every sports person, and one has to move on with that. But Bumrah, remember, is India's X factor. And if he doesn't play the Border Gavaskar Trophy, it could be a huge deterrent for India, because they are one of the potential teams to make it to the final of the World Test Championship. One hopes now that Jasprit Bumrah can make a very speedy recovery, because without Bumrah, India's bowling is dulled a bit. Thank you so much, folks, for this special video. We'll be back for more updates regarding Jasprit Bumrah's health and also on the Indian cricket team. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. We are also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram also. Thank you.